Hyder interjects all the time. That's why we call him the method man.
Right.
He always is the method. And there'll be times I'm doing something, he'll be like, you should flip it like that in my ear. I'm like, bro, we're filming. I'm trying to say how to cook the thing. Why are you in my ear? And I see how angry I'm getting already. And I get mad. And then we just have to carry on. And like, I want to kill him, but like, with Mandem.
Let's start at the beginning. Why are you giving me the side eye like this?
Because I've never been interviewed by you properly, so this is like, yeah, I'm worried.
No, this is all going to be a really nice chat. It's
Are you
lovely.
sure?
Yeah, man.
Talk about my personal life.
No, I mean, I don't think I don't think you want me to talk about
No,
your
not
personal
today.
life. I know, you definitely don't want me to. Okay, cool.
You two have met before, haven't you?
We've met, but we haven't done like
Oh, no.
sit down.
Did you see what we did there?
Yeah. Oh, you tried to do the. All right, sorry, I didn't get it. I'm on the ropes. I'm on the ropes.
Okay, so cool. We're going to go back to the beginning, how this all first started. So we're actually going to look at a clip of how it all first started.
You lot are trying to make man look like a clown. Man's a serious grime MC, you know. And peel that, chop it a bit more, crush some garlic, put it in the pancas. Shake that, run some chicken in there. What salt, what thyme, what all-purpose. I want black pepper, but not that much. Chicken seasoning, same. Paprika, chili flakes, olive oil. Yeah. Marinate that. Massage it like it's your gal, fam. Fan oven 200, no long. Same potatoes. Same wash that, cut that quick. On a tray, fam. Carrots, red onion and that. Same, bang that in there, just laying Jill and that. Yeah, mix it, season it, get it all nice and that. Bang it in the oven, cuzzy.
Tell me how you feel watching that back, because this was the YouTube Xmas dinner pilot that you put together yourself, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, just take me back to the beginning. How does watching that, where you are now, how does it all feel?
It's mad. My voice has completely changed. I'm so upset at my voice. I used to sound really cute. Yeah, it feels weird watching it back. That we were just having fun. I was cooking in my friend's house, who I can say is Mike Ashley's son, anti-Ollie. So he was in a really rich person's house, and we was lucky to have the kind of things that we had around us at the time, like having the cameras and kind of had that infrastructure that was going on at the time in the place that I was working. Let's not talk about it because, you know, we'll close down X, Y, Z, but the opportunities we got from that place led us to do videos like that in Ollie's house, and we never knew what would come from it. We just did it for fun, didn't it, for bands.
Because I heard that the original concept was Pimp My Rider, which was you basically doing riders for artists and stuff like that. That was the original thing. But then how did we get to the Big Zuu Eats? Talk me through the development process of that.
Well, Anti-Ro, where's Ro? Where's
Put your hand up, bro. Don't be shy.
Ro and Minhas.
Where is he?
He's there.
He's on the edge.
In the corner. Anti-Ro. Ro saw the show.
Yeah.
That we put on the internet, and he's friends with my manager, Mr. Matt Dodds, and he was working at the production company, Truthful, Boom, all of that, and they kind of just pitched the show to me. Obviously, I've been presenting.
Yeah.
So it didn't come out of nowhere. A lot of people think I came out of nowhere, randomly. No, I've been doing music for years, but I've also been presenting for years. So I had a radio show at the same time I had that. I had my radio show called The Joint Show.
Right.
I've had a radio show going on for about 6-7 years now. So I was presenting. So then when he saw that, plus the music, plus the presenting, everything kind of came together and said, let's come up with a show. So it was The Riders. The Riders was the concept that we cook famous people, their rider on tour. And then we kind of took it away from that and just said, let's just cook for famous people on tour. Let's cook for comedians. Because Dave wanted the show, and Dave has a lot of comedians. So we kind of developed it from there. Then we did the pilot with these guys.
Yeah, that's when we pulled up. He was like, I'm doing the show, can you lot come just for a few hours? And then me and Hyder, we pulled up, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, we had no idea. We genuinely, so originally they wanted 2 already established influencers.
Right.
Famous people to do the show with Zuu. But on the day of the pilot, I don't know, no one could turn up.
No one was free on the day.
Sad time.
Aye, they're pissed, because if they did the show with me, they would have got 2 BAFTAs maybe. Well, probably not, because it's because of you lot we got it.
I want to go to Alex and Chris. Hi. How how did you guys see it coming all together? Because I know you guys have a passion for food and comedy, but how did you guys see it all coming together when you became a part of the whole process?
I mean, for me, genuinely, it just made sense straight away.
Right.
Because I guess I'd done comedy with, like, you know, panel shows, studio shows. So I loved comedy, knew a lot about that, but I loved food. That was like a massive passion. And I've just always wanted to combine comedy and food. So Chris called me up and he's like, I think there's a show you might like. It's a pilot. It's cooking food for comedians. I was like, you're joking? Are you joking? It's like, I called my girlfriend. I was like, Chris has called me up about this show. She's like, what? No, it can't be true. And I thought, well, I'll email, see, I'll call the guys. Like, yeah, I think it's going to happen. Like, they never happen, these things.
Right.
But then it happened. And then since then, yeah, it's just been great because laughing and eating, they're pretty good.
I got sent Rose one pager, and I couldn't believe that someone, UK TV, were going to invest in making the pilot. And I said yes straight away.
Right.
And I called Alex because we joked about trying to make food and comedy work. I've done food, comedy, scripted, and improv, entertainment, and yeah, it just made perfect sense. And we did it because we could.
Zuu, what do you think has been the success of the show? Why do you think people enjoy it so much and people have taken such a liking to it?
Obviously, it starts with an incredible team. People that work on the show are all incredible at their job. So when we first started working with them, they kind of just made everything feel really simple. We work with a small team. We don't, like, I go on other shows, I'm like, oh, so this happens. So they have this room for you. And obviously, Big Eats, when we first filmed it, you know, we're on the road, we're in the food truck, we're in the cold, hating life, but loving at the same time. There's a lot of obstacles with filming a show, but because the team's so good, it makes everything seamless. And then I think for the fact that me, Tubsey and Hyder are genuine friends, because we went secondary school together, and I hate them, but I love them at the same time, that comes across on camera. So people get that, and then we can actually kind of cook. Like,
is it genuinely that fun on set? Because when you're watching it, it seems like there's so much banter going on. It just looks like fun chaos.
Yeah,
is that
when you put man in the van and the camera's rolling, I know I can start talking mad rubbish. I know I can say whatever I want, and I can say, hey, I'm joking. So I start saying things that, then these man start saying whatever they want. Tubsey has his moments outside where he just I don't know what's going on in his brain. And then Hyder knows how to, like, pick at me. Like, Hyder just knows how to reply to things to make me look like an idiot, but also, like, bust joking me. So for like us, I don't know.
I think that's a big thing, though. You know you can say what you want, and I've always believed that's what I've always wanted you guys to be yourselves. And like, if you trust me, and like in the edit, you know, let's just go for it. We kind of it's like we start, and it's like we create our own little world, and we just.
At first, man had to like show Alex what man them means and stuff. You know what I mean?
See, what's it like meeting everyone?
First season was a bit weird because obviously I was working at One Extra. I was used to like interviewing rappers.
Wait, did you know everyone that came on the show? So every guest that came.
So I knew Jimmy Carr and
Jamali Maddox.
I didn't know Jamali like that. How did I know him? What did I know about him? Light skin brother with a beard.
I watch
a bit
a lot of Mock the
presumptuous,
Week,
isn't it?
so
I don't watch Mock the Week. Hyder watches Mock the Week and them things there. So Hyder knew everyone. But
It was a Voyage of Discovery for you, wasn't it? And it was like exactly.
whoa, what did you say it was?
Voyage.
The fuck? Wow! Sorry, Voyage of Discovery.
Yeah, well, you know.
these words from.
Voyage. The Voyage.
Okay, we took a trip.
A cruise ship. I'm discovering. He's on the pressure there.
Well,
He's on a
I'm
boat.
just going to let you have the laugh because it was right.
Sorry.
So you were.
It's
You
true,
were. I
it's
was
true.
trying to help you out as well.
It's true,
you know.
because what's brilliant about making that first series was watching Zuu, Tubsey and Hyder meet these people and go on that voyage. Experience it firsthand. It wasn't televisual.
Right.
It was brilliantly real and funny, and you can see Zuu, there's no pretense. There's no sort of, conceit. There's no format put upon or produced behind the scenes. It is what it is, and that's what we always wanted to provide the space to do, and that's what is brilliant about the show.
One thing that I love about it is, like I keep saying, it's so authentic. Like even the language that you guys use, the slang that you guys use. You don't hold back. You see, like, just like how we talk, man, them. Like sometimes and then sometimes you, not every day you use slang, but then you do throw it in there. Was that something that you was conscious of? I have to make sure I stay true to myself. Always, even you come. I'm actually more interested to hear from these guys, to be fair, because because obviously this is your world, but this is not your world. So did you guys ever feel like, oh, I can't say this, I can't talk like this, I shouldn't talk like this because that's not TV?
I'll be honest. When we turned up for the pilot, I still remember one of the. We got mic'd up, everything. They put us in the van, and I forgot I was mic'd up, and I remember whispering to Zuu like, "Hey, what do I say or do? Like, what do I do?" He was like, "Don't worry, bro. Just be yourself. Just act like we're at home cooking."
Yeah.
Done the pilot, and I've always been camera shy. I've never wanted to like be in front of camera. I've always hated doing this, like talking to people. So it took me a while to get used to it, and I got to give credit to Chris and Alex because they, along the way, helped me with certain things, knowing I'm shy, and not shy, but like I don't like being in front of camera and talking. So yeah, they helped me a lot, and it made things a lot easier.
I get bare pissed off when I get interrupted or corrected. I don't know why. I'm a controlling little prick. So
That's very Leo energy then.
Leo, and thank you. I had this reason.
Hey. See that?
Sorry, very Leo. I was just picking up the star signs. People don't believe in them. So when Hyder interjects all the time. That's why we call him the method man.
Right.
He always is a method. And there'll be times I'm doing something, he'll be like, "You should flip it like that in my ear." I'm like, "Bro, we're filming. I'm trying to say how to cook the thing. Why are you in my ear?" And I see how angry I'm getting already. And I get mad. And then we just have to carry on. And like, I want to kill him, but like, with Mandem,
It takes you 20, 25 minutes to
calm down.
calm down.
I was gonna say, what's it like for you guys when all of this is happening? Is it just brilliant for you to capture all of it?
I think it's more, we'll just
Normal.
raise the level.
Normal.
Yeah.
It's like a dysfunctional family or a normal family.
Literally that.
It's like a normal family.
And you know what's funny? The first season where they didn't really know us, when we'd have certain arguments, they'd be like, "Oh my God, this is the end of everything. We can't, like, they hate each other, they're not friends no more." 10 minutes later, kiss, make up, back to filming. So that's
Amazing.
Took them a while to get used to it.
It escalates quickly.
Representation as well is, I know you guys are really passionate about it, and I guess even talking about the use of language and whatever, that's like normalizing us, and like we were saying, that everyone doesn't have to be a certain way to be on TV or speak a certain way to be on TV. So I think that is an amazing thing that you guys have done. I want to take another look at another clip, and this was with Fatima.
What are like your feelings in terms of being a hijabi woman within comedy? Because growing up, I'm sure you didn't see a lot of people that look like you within the comedy scene.
100%, 100%. Representation is important. What we see on the street is not what we see on the television. It's completely different. But that's the reality. All different sizes, different shapes, different countries, different ethnicities. There's just no representation.
Yeah.
So we got to work hard to break that. I'm not just doing it like for myself. I'm doing it for the people coming up behind me and with me as well, you know? Bit deep, innit?
But what? Oval. You're not hearing that, yeah? You little cricket brothers trying to bowl and that. We're here to break down boundaries, not hit boundaries. Are you mad? That got me a bit emotional, I'm not gonna lie. And I respect you a lot.
Thank you.
2 Muslims on Dave. Having a feta salad in the Oval.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Ask
All
away.
right. Do I have anything in my teeth?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
How amazing. How important was it for you guys to make sure there was good representation across the board?
Just because of the moments like that.
Yeah.
You know, like everything about that. The slang, the banter, the realism, the way she brings it back. That's what we do it for. Like, we link her in a pub in Kennington and she does a comedy show. Like, where do you see this random hijabi lady on telly doing banter in the comedy club in a pub? Like, it just breaks down everything. And then at the end of that clip, what's really important, that it goes into Doja Cat, get into it. Yeah? And I know that sounds super random, but that is so important. Because we fight for that shit. Like, I make sure Alex gets all the music correct because that just makes, like you said, it normalizes everything.
Yeah.
And it makes everything just seem like it's not that deep. But I doubt there's any TV programs really that are not with the ethnic brothers playing some Doja Cat in the background, you know? It's the same Top Gear, guitar, Arctic Monkeys. You know what I'm saying? Sorry to the Arctic Monkeys, I love them, man. But it's the same, the backing track's always the same. Bro, isn't Hell's Kitchen like the Logic, it's the Logic loops. Now, that probably don't mean a lot to you, but what it means is that the sound on Hell's Kitchen, like the background track, is a loop made on Logic that everyone can use. It's used in many programs. They don't, like, we make an effort to play music from our culture, and like Fatia is just an example of the representation. Like, there's so much we do.
Staying on the music, was that hard? Was that hard to convince the guys that this is the type of music we need? It can't just be the traditional stuff that we normally hear. I need a bit of grime. Like, you come from music. What was that? Was that a battle? Was it they understood?
It was less of a battle. I mean, it starts with the theme tune, innit? Because the theme tune is me spitting bars.
Right. Yeah.
Which is not normal for a show. So that took a lot to work through and understand and get the tone right. I made it in the studio at like 4 a.m. and I remember I sent it to you, Chris. It's in the middle of the night. I was in the studio. They were telling me they had an idea of what they wanted the theme tune to be, and I was like in the studio late night, just vibes in. I said, you know what, Crafty, let's do it, and we made it. We didn't ask them for the lyrics. We didn't ask them what they wanted to hear. I just said, I was a young fat boy, grew up in West Side, and then they just went from there. So once we did the theme tune, then it's like working with Alex, the people on the edit, telling them, no, we need more grime. No, let the backing track be talking the hardest. Can we get woo rhythm in there? Like, there's a part where we go, man, in East London, where the man them are bought. And then we get the song.
And it's so banging.
We get the song that is for the guy, East London. For the guy's never getting asked, yo, can we clear your song for telly? No one's asking him that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what we go the extra mile. So when a man's watching it in the yard, they're like, whoa, that's not him, you know? Do you know what I mean? Like, and that is so, it's not as important to other people, but it's important to us.
And that was something, like Natalie, she was the commissioner, she was really set on that from the beginning. She always was pushing that the music was true as well. Do you know what I mean? I think that massively helped because, you know, in these situations, you could have Zuu going, we've got to have it, but then, you know, the chunk about, well, we don't really. Yeah. So if you don't have that other side, that's really important.
Did you guys know that it was, like, in your heart of hearts, Zuu, did you know that this was going to be a really good thing and that people were going to really love it and that it would go more than one season? Did you know? Or did...
I mean, telly's one of those things. When we got into telly, a lot of people told us, like, things don't get recommissioned like that. And it's true. You see people come and go with shows all the time, especially people from our demographic who are, like, breaking into telly. So I do appreciate that Dave let us land and gave us time to grow. And, you know, the first one done well, we got nominated for XYZ, but to keep going with it, you know, it's not something that happens all the time. So to get to number 3, now I watch a lot of Diners, Drivers and Dives, which is a show by a guy called Guy Fieri, yeah? One of the greatest television chefs of all time. Now, you might know him if you watch Food Network in the middle of the night. He comes on at like 2, 3 a.m. But this guy, he has 35 seasons of Diners, Drivers and Dives, yeah? And he's done 419 episodes. I know that because I was watching the other day and I was doing some research. But it's continuous. And I never thought that Big Eats would get to number 3. But now I just want to do 100.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I want to do 1 million of them. And I want to keep it authentic. I want to keep it the same vibe because I just want it to be a point where we're on in the night at 1 a.m. on Food Network.
Hey,
and Dave.